Looks like we're about to get started here, folks. So start raising your hands. We'll start with an opening statement. Good evening, Coach. We'll start with an opening statement, and then we'll move on to questions.
Man, what a college baseball game. I just walked in. I was telling some of the guys, you're going to look up in a couple of years and see all those guys pitching in the big leagues. Just some special arms, special competitors on both sides. Their guy was phenomenal tonight. But really proud of Will Bednar and Landon Sims, the way they pitch. And you got to tip your hat to Scott Foxhall, our pitching coach. I kept telling him before the game when we saw the wind, I said the best thing to do is just strike them out. And he was able to do that. I really did make that comment, but he was our pitchers were phenomenal tonight.
First up, Steve Robinson. I am having technical difficulties here. Hold on. Coach, why don't you talk about Will's performance tonight while I try to figure out what's going on here?
Okay. I thought Will was excellent. He was able to command the fastball throughout the zone. And, man, once he got that slider going, it was just hard to sit on either pitch. And he competed. He fell behind in some counts. He was able to get back in there and win counts when he fell behind, which I thought was huge as the day went on. And just gave them no momentum all day long. He was just really good.
And then talk about goodness, I'm sorry, I can't unmute anybody, so I can't call any questions.
Man, that's really nice that we got Robbie Falk muted. So they're in our.
I have sent numerous text messages to get privileges.
We can wait for a minute. So.
Sorry about that.
You're all right.
Hopefully, somebody will see my urgent request to be there. I go. Okay. Let's start this party. We're going to start with Steve Robertson. Steve, you're up.
Chris, I hope you can hear me now. So this is just one of those grinded out, kind of just tough it out ball games. I mean, this has kind of been typical for you guys all year long, just to kind of find a way to hold on late. Do you think this kind of speaks to your team's toughness?
I do. I mean, it's there was never a loose moment in the game to where you felt like, oh, we had this game. You're playing on the edge of your seat the whole game. And I feel like that's been our entire season for the most part. Every game is close and every game is tough. And man, the talent and the arms that were out there tonight, nobody could break away from each other.
David Murray.
Coach, this was a game, obviously, where runs are going to be hard to come by even with the win. Just talk about your offense, just scratching something out, starting out with a base on balls by Cameron James.
And I thought that, he threw some really good sliders to Cam in that at-bat that he laid off of. And he had chased the same pitch in the at-bat earlier. And then the huge hit by Luke. And then, just being able to put balls in play. I mean, I think – one of the positives, I joked our defense, I felt like they were the best part of the game tonight. But the reality, it was hard to play defense out there. Fly balls were landing, Cumbas's ball lands, Rowdy's ball lands. I mean, it was just tough to play D out there. And so, fortunately for us, we picked a night where we were going to strike out a lot of guys. And us putting balls in play, gave us that cushion.
Robbie Falk.
I'm unmuted, Chris.
I know. I said that for you, so.
Just, obviously, it's the numbers suggest that it's always big to get this first one, and just talk about how big it is now to move into the winner's bracket and to win a game like that too, to hold on in the ninth inning and beat a really good team like that.
Well, you're just trying to get every win out here. I mean, we knew, obviously the numbers speak over the years that winning game one is huge and gives you the bigger advantage. But you're just trying to win games out here. And every opponent's tough, and we're going to play a great Virginia team here in a couple nights. And but that's why we use Landon the way we did. Usually we bridge him a little bit more, but we just felt like at that point of the game, with the middle of the order up, that he was the guy to go to, and he did a tremendous job.
Eddie Cahill.
What kind of development have you seen from Bednar to be able to pitch deeper into the game as the season's going on? I know he wasn't fully healthy at the start of the season, but what's allowed him to get deeper in the game like he did tonight?
Well, just early in the year, we had to get his arm in shape, and that was the biggest thing. Once his arm got in shape, he's pitched deep into a lot of games. In some games we didn't have to, so we felt like we could take him out and be okay. But he's one of the strongest players on our team if you put him in the weight room. So he has the ability to handle it, and he works, phenomenal worker. So what he does off the field between the starts is what makes him have the chance to throw that many pitches.
Joel Coleman.
Chris, I think it was at fifth inning that Will was out there, and there was a beach ball or something, and as they got it, he didn't even budge. Like he didn't move a muscle on the mound. I mean, he was just locked in. You've seen him have several performances that were really, really good, but from a mental standpoint, I mean, did you notice something different? Was he just locked in, maybe more so than ever today?
He was locked in. There's no doubt about it, just all night long. And, man, when he hit that groove about the third or fourth inning, he was as good as I've seen him. So I remember the pitch and the thing. I was hoping he would step off and just relax. But he was ready to pitch. And you got to be able to handle. We've talked all week about being highly focused. And I guess that's the epitome of being highly focused. He didn't come off that rubber, and he stayed locked in. But there's distractions out here. You got to handle things. And we did a really nice job tonight as a whole.
John Sokoloff.
Hey, Chris, John Sokoloff with WCBI in Columbus. I know you've been a part of a ton of games, and forget the combined strikeout record for both teams, but when was the last time you've been a part of a staff like yours that had that type of performance? And is that the best pitching performance you think you've seen your team have?
Yeah, that's at the top of the list. I mean, I tell you, it was pretty impressive against a really good team. I mean, Texas is good. They've been hot lately. I grabbed Will after the game. I handed him a game ball, and I just told him, I said, man, that's one of the better performances ever here. I mean, 6 innings, 1 hit, 15 punchies. I mean, ain't many guys come here and done that because the talent level is so high. And this is the night the wind was blowing out. I mean, some nights your pitchers are pitching great because the wind's blowing in, but tonight the wind's blowing out. He just didn't give them any swings all night long.
John Niatawa.
Yep, John Niatawa with the Omaha World Herald. Coach, could you just kind of take us through how you managed trying to make the decision of when to go to Landon Sims and because Bednar was so good, it was like you probably didn't want to pull him if you didn't have to. How'd you make that decision?
So, well, we knew we had Landon ready for the last 9 outs, but we ran Will back out there. The 5th inning the 6th inning, Will was really good. And then when we ran him back out in the 7th, the velo was down. So he went from 92, 93 to he threw a couple 87s and an 88. Actually, we felt like he threw a really good 3-2 pitch, but he walked the guy. And then I'm trying to get to the top step and go out there, and my catcher goes ahead and calls a pitch, and that's how he goes 0-1. It's just hard to get everybody's attention out here. So Landon was lucky to come in and have an 0-1 count. But when we see stuff fall off, and then we felt like we may have used another arm, but being in the middle of the lineup there with those big power hitters, and those guys are really talented, we wanted Landon to pitch against their best.
Steve Robertson.
Chris, we talk about experience in Omaha being so valuable, but tonight it was a lot of your first-time guys kind of coming through. Brad Cumbus with a hit there. Cameron James starts a rally for you, and then, of course, Bednar and Sims. Obviously, you would love to have an experienced team. What does it say about the youth of this team to come up here and perform the way they did?
Yeah, they played with poise. I mean, we play in the SEC, and we play in as nice a park and crowds as you find. So there is a big deal about being in the Omaha, but we've been on this stage a bunch, and our kids are used to it. I was more worried about regionals and super regionals and the pressure of it. I thought our kids came out and played great. I'm sitting there in about the 6th or 7th inning, and Tanner Allen's on deck, and I just leaned over to him. I said, hey, you going to help us out at all tonight? And he just laughed, because he's usually got 3 knocks and leading the way. And I just thought they pitched Tanner really well tonight. So for us to be able to win a game like that and have the young kids help, that was a huge night.
All right, we're going to go with 2 more questions. David Murray, you're first.
Coach, you made the joke about defense being the best part of the game, but
you finally get some ground balls in the ninth inning, it would have been very easy for those guys after all the strikeouts to kind of lose focus, but they made the plays perfectly.
Yeah, if you're not on the field, I don't know if you realize the ball to Scotty DeBrule is like cap spinner, so he's sitting, he had to like sit on it, which was a tough play, and it was nice to get a couple balls late in the game. And to throw that, I turned to Fox as soon as we made the out, and it was a slider. We had 2-0 count on a guy, and Landon throws a really nice slider to get us out of that game. And it was great to see those guys. Lane Forsythe picked that ball up, threw a BB, and Scotty sat on that last one. So defense, we didn't have a lot of it, but when we needed it, we got it.
And our final question from Robbie Falk.
Coach, we joked with Will about the ice in his veins picture. You got a chance to do that the other day as well. But really, that's kind of been how he's been all season long. Even in the games where he's been hit hard, it never seems like he's really been discouraged or anything like that. How has he been able to kind of maintain his composure out there and pitch like he has ice water in his veins?
It's just, you look up and that's a baseball family. Dad's a coach, brother's pitching in the big leagues. He's been like that since he's been here. I mean, he's just a competitor. And we have a handful of those guys. We have some real alpha leaders in that clubhouse and the way they like to play the game. And you have to have it. And the biggest moment, we were watching these guys, play their best, which is a lot of fun as a coach.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Congratulations on the win, and enjoy the rest of your evening. First player up will be Rowdy Jordan. Welcome to the podium, Rowdy. We're going to start with questions. First up, John Sokoloff.
All right, there I am. So, Rowdy, I mean, what's it kind of like as a lineup when, you guys are going against a really good guy, not able to produce too much, but you see on the other end what Will and Landon was able to do? I mean, what's it kind of like from a lineup standpoint to kind of stay confident?
Yeah, I mean, when you got someone like Ty going up there, commanding the zone, throwing really hard, 2 pitches, you just stay in there. You keep competing, and that's what we did tonight. And we put up a good inning, got 2 runs, and it was enough to win the game.
Okay, moving on, we'll go to John Niatawa. Oh, I'm sorry. John Niatawa, you should be unmuted. There you go.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. John Niatawa with the World Herald. I mean, this game, as strong as your pitchers performed, it seemed like you just couldn't quite pull away from Texas. How much tension did you feel in trying to just sort of put them away and kind of gain some cushion in this one? It seemed like a pretty intense game.
I wouldn't say we were tense up there. I just, you're going against a guy that, is going to be a top 15 pick in, 3 weeks. So I think, the mindset for us was just keep going out there, competing, putting together good at-bats. And, obviously you want to extend a lead, but, it didn't happen. So, you just flip on to defense and play good D, and that's what we did.
Eric Olson.
Yeah, Eric Olson with the Associated Press. You're accustomed to seeing your pitchers strike out a lot of batters. I think you guys might have tied the Division I record tonight for a season, but this was a little bit extra tonight. What did you see from your vantage point as you're watching this thing unfold with Will?
Just competing, get ahead with the fastball, throwing a slider for a strike. And I think that's the biggest thing when you're up there and they don't know what's coming. It's just really tough to hit. You got a guy outside corner, inside corner, 94, 95, then throwing a slider up there. It just keeps the other team off balance, and that's what I saw from center. And just staying in there, getting even in tough counts, they stayed in there and competed.
Joel Coleman.
Rowdy, you kind of touched on it just a second there, but you've seen Will from center field a lot, this year and last year and stuff. But did his stuff just look different tonight? Was there a little extra bite to it? I mean, what does it look like standing out there? What did his, repertoire look like from your vantage point?
I don't know. It seems like every time I'm in center, there's a bunch of bites to the ball. So I don't know. I guess he was ahead in the count more. pitching in and out, more effectively than he has in, previous starts, I reckon. That's the biggest thing. He's always got good stuff, and tonight it really showed.
Steve Robertson.
Rowdy, you've been in this position before. All 3 times you've been to Omaha, you won game 1. So based on those experiences, how do you keep these young guys kind of locked in and focused and win the bracket?
Right. Yeah, that's going to be, something we talk about. This is our 3rd trip to Omaha, winning all 3 games on opening night, and then coming up short 2 years in a row. So I think, you celebrate a little bit, but then you put it behind you. And that's what we're going to tell the younger guys. I say, look, guys, we've been here and we didn't get it done, so let's just keep playing good.
All right, we'll go 2 more questions. Eric Olson.
I didn't have a question.
Oh, your hand was still raised. Sorry about that. And then we'll go to Joel Coleman.
I think my hand was still raised too. You can ask someone else.
All right. Well, we have no more hands raised. So, Rowdy, thank you so much for your time tonight, and congratulations on the win.
All right. Thank y'all.
We will be joined by Will Bednar here shortly. Welcome to the podium, Will. We'll turn it over to questions. First up is Robbie Falk.
Will, we talked about the pose you like, the ice water in your veins. That thing's been rolling around Twitter all afternoon, and you backed it up today with one of the best performances ever here. Just what were you feeling out there going against that lineup, and how'd you feel like you performed for 6 innings?
I felt like it was a great performance, probably my best ever, especially on this big of a stage. It was really cool. But, I felt like fastball was playing really well up in the zone, and slider played really well too.
Nick Suss.
Well, it seemed like today you were extremely successful in full counts. Just what's your approach to striking out batters when you have that sort of, it's either a walk or a strikeout sort of situation?
With situations like that, I just try to think about trusting my defense. I got some studs out there, and just let them hit it, get outs.
Steve Robertson.
Well, sometimes a moment can be really big for a young pitcher in a venue like this. I mean, what was kind of like your mental preparation coming into today to make sure that you were going to be good to go and locked in?
Probably the biggest thing I thought was just treating it like every other game. Obviously it's really a lot of fun to play on a stage this big, but I just try not to let it get too big and treat it like any other game.
Joel Coleman.
Will, I think it was that 5th inning, there was a beach ball or something behind you, and there was a kind of a significant delay there for several seconds, but you didn't budge. You just stayed on the rubber, and I don't think you moved a muscle. Just how aware were you what was going on around you out there? And I guess, have you ever had an experience where you were, this locked into a start?
I knew what was going on. I knew the umpire was trying to get me to step off the mound, but I just want to stay locked in up there. I knew it happened a few times where the beach balls were out there, and it didn't really bother me. Just tried to stay locked in.
John Sokoloff.
Will, Chris just told us that he went up to you in the dugout after and said that was one of the best performances ever at the College World Series. I guess, what did that kind of mean to you, and what does Chris mean to you?
That's really cool. To be honest, it still really hasn't even set in yet, but that was awesome. Especially to have Coach Lem come up to me and say that, it means a lot. And I'm still kind of on cloud 9.
John Niatawa.
John Niatawa with the Omaha World Herald. Did you get a sense to sort of soak in that moment? You're leaving the mound, the stadium's, everyone's on their feet, giving you a standing ovation. Your teammates are greeting you at the dugout. I wonder just what was going through your mind then when you finally came out of the game?
When I came out of the game, I wanted to stay in. I was pretty mad when Coach Lem came out, but I trusted Landon. I knew he was going to get the job done. So I went in there and got back up on the fence, and I was yelling at Landon to keep it rolling.
Joel Coleman.
Will, I guess, we've talked about it all the time, or earlier, but when you win this first game, it really obviously puts you in a good spot. But just overall, what do you guys kind of feel like, heading into a winner's bracket game and having the momentum and staying in the winner's bracket in this tournament?
Feel good. Definitely feel good about it, moving forward, keeping on rolling, but still a lot more baseball to play. We're not done yet.
Aaron Fitt.
Will, I know maybe over the last couple of weeks it's been a little up and down for your last few outings. Just curious if there's anything in particular you were working on between starts or any adjustments that you made in your prep heading into this one.
Definitely the big thing was just working on continue to increase or improve fastball command and working on keeping the slider, make sure I can throw it for a strike and get it off the plate for a strikeout pitch.
Oh, 2 more questions. Nick Suss.
Well, on a night like tonight, are you keeping track of your strikeouts mentally?
Yeah. I wasn't trying to, but I kind of kept peeking up at the board.
Aaron, do you have another question?
No, sorry.
Oh, okay. And then our final question will go to John Niatawa.
Yeah, I was just wondering, you mentioned attacking up in the zone with the fastball. Was that part of the game plan? Is that kind of part of what you like to do? Just what went into that strategic piece tonight, going after them with that fastball high?
A little bit of both. I feel like my fastball plays really well up in the zone, and they're a big swinging team. So I think those two really kind of went hand in hand and really helped me out today.
All right. Thank you, Will. Congratulations on the win
Thank
tonight
you.
and enjoy the rest of your
Cal
evening.
State.
Thanks, everyone. If you need to find the press conference, it's available on the NCAA Digital Hub. Thank you.